What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This video I wanted to watch. I really want to have as many of these conversations as we can when it comes to AAU basketball and that sort of stuff. This was Steve Nash. So this is on Gil's Arena. Go like, go subscribe, go give them a follow. Gilbert Arenas destroys Steve Nash's take on USA hoops. So I heard Kendrick Perkins and Richard Jefferson talking about AAU and the way it should be played. And I actually watched Gilbert Arenas talking about that, and he completely disagreed and said the opposite thing that I was saying, which basically I do think we're pretty flawed with how we play, with how we develop basketball here in America. So now that Steve Nash has spoken about it, and I saw basically Steve Nash's premise on development in America, it's pay to play, all that sort of stuff, I kind of want to see what Gilbert talks about here. And then I'd like to discuss his points, because I do think this is a conversation that needs to be had. And I think a lot of people are either having it without full information, without knowing any better. What I mean by that is Kendrick Perkins was speaking as a guy who played AAU basketball, he was a McDonald's All-American, went on to straight from high school to the NBA, won a championship in the NBA with the Boston Celtics. So whatever he tells you is only his experience. He's done nothing outside of basketball besides that. And that's not a knock. That's not saying he couldn't. I'm just saying he hasn't. All he knows is NBA, like that pathway, that super pathway to the NBA. But that's very few players go that pathway. The larger issue is that majority of our development doesn't need to cater to those high school phenoms. Our development in America needs to cater to everyone else. That high school phenom is going to make it regardless. They're going to make it regardless what your development system is. So Kendrick Perkins speaking from that standpoint, to me, it doesn't really move the needle. Now, Gilbert Arenas, I do take his individual, like his personal journey. I think he speaks on things and has really good insight from that perspective. But again, he's always been a elite basketball player, but at least once he got to the NBA, there was like another hurdle he had to overcome. So I'd like to see his perspective, and we'll go from there.
Spinning or tripping with his comments on the grassroots basketball development in the United States of America?
What are they trying to say?
That European players are way more fundamentally sound and way more educated of the game.
Sound like he's saying "fuck America" if we just keep.
That's and
That's pay to play. That was
my point. I just want to know what are they saying? Because if you're saying that it's easier to coach a European player because it's a local situation.
No.
That's what they're saying?
Not necessarily. So what he's saying is, right, it's youth sports here is ran by money. Right?
Shoot,
look at all the talent.
But still, in other places,
like what?
It's about the sport.
So I'll just give a brief rundown. Basically what Steve Nash was saying is that American basketball is pay to play, meaning whoever has the most money is going to attract the best players. And once you start attracting the best players, like you've done the job, like that's it. So the advertising comes with it, the money, like the shoe circuits. So they're going to get all the best players, but it's not the teams that are developing the best that get paid. It's just the teams that recruit the best players. So if you want to get on a shoe circuit, if you want to be one of the best teams, if you want to make the most money and you want to keep profiting, you have to keep recruiting the best players. So just starting from an AAU standpoint, but you look at NIL, you look at high school basketball now, you look at that's the whole system in America. It's like we're ultra capitalists. And don't get me wrong, I like capitalism, but we're in like late stage capitalism, ultra capitalism, where like money rules everything. I think it's one of the biggest issues I have with just where our society has gotten to. Again, I like capitalism over other forms of societies, how they run, because I do like the incentive of if I work harder, I'm going to make more money. But we've surpassed that. We've passed that stage. And now we're in this weird, funny stage where it's like, well, it's not about working harder. It's about It's about whoever has the most money keeps making more money. The rich get richer, poor get poor, basically. So if you have all the best players, your team is going to win anyways. You don't have to develop anymore. And then all those players go to the NBA, and the NBA is not all about winning. It's not the teams that are developing. It's not the teams that are necessarily even winning championships. It's the teams that are selling jerseys. It's the players that are selling jerseys. Like, look at all these, like LaMelo Ball. I use him as an example all the time. He's never made the playoffs. And he's like the 8th most sold jersey. It's because we value entertainment. And the NBA openly speaks about this. They value entertainment over winning, because winning is hard to do. It's hard to do, and not everyone can do it. But entertainment, anyone can entertain, right? So that's how our sports are over here in America. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's what our sports are focused on. Most other countries, especially the ones that I've been to, I'll speak on those, but I won't speak on all the rest of the world. But most of the other countries I've been to, there's like a pride factor. So winning, competing for your hometown, for your home city, for your home country. There's more there for a lot of sports. If you watch the Olympic documentary that was on Netflix, it was really good. Court of Gold, I think it was called. I don't typically watch Netflix, and I definitely don't watch like sports documentary. I didn't even want to watch The Last Dance, but Court of Gold and that first season of Starting Five, absolute magic that they captured there. But if you watch Team USA, it's all fun and games. We're America. We show up. We win everything. Everyone's having a fun time. It's like it's just like a trip to go get a gold medal, right? And then if you watch the locker rooms of France, like look at the way the French coach is speaking to his players. He's talking like they're going to war. They compare it to a war. He's comparing it to a battle. If we know that they're better than us, but we're going to keep coming in waves, and we're going to attack, and we're going to be aggressive, and they can't keep up with that for 40 minutes because we have more pride, and we have it's a war. They speak about it like battle strategy. To them, it's a war. It's that important. So anyways, you start looking at those differences. Steve Nash was basically saying that whoever has the most money, if you want to participate in that system, it's about paying, and you can't, like, you're not, it's not about developing and working hard to get to that point. It's about who has the most money, who has the most connections, and then the rich get richer, poor get poor. So sorry for that long-winded explanation.
That's what he's saying, right? In Canada and Europe, it's about the sport and not the money aspect of it, right?
The potential of the actual prospect.
So
where he
they
can go,
concentrate.
who he gonna sign with.
In order for my 7-year-old to play basketball in Canada right now, it's free.
Free.
In order for my 7-year-old to play on the team now, I have to pay. To get him trained and to play, I have to pay. That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
So they work.
Kind of. That's a part of it. The reason Gilbert and them, they always uncharitably try to take a lot of these arguments. So I can tell Gil's about to do that here. Oh, so if it's just about paying, then
they focus and if you don't pay, then your kid can't participate. Well, there is built in communities, and the community basically if it's a rec center, the kids can go learn the skill for free at the rec center than having to pay to go to the rec center to learn the skill, is what I gather from.
I know what you're saying now. How many NBA players came from Canada? You don't even.
I know you looked it up already.
No, just don't answer.
See, because he wants to use his stats, but again, America we have the most basketball. We have the most basketball players to choose from as well. So that argument, it doesn't really work. Like, you take a look at Serbia and how. Look at Serbia and France and how close they pushed Team USA in the Olympics, and then look at their country population compared to our country population. Like, it's not even close. So if you did it by per capita, we're not doing very well. With that being said, 40%, it's just over 40%. We looked this up. Over 40% of the players currently in the NBA have family ties to someone else who was formerly in the NBA. So again, the rich get richer, poor get poor. So if your dad made the NBA, you have a higher chance of making the NBA because you're going to get that training, you're going to whatever, right? So it's not, we're not talking about those kids, but Gilbert's arguments will come from the ones that make it to the NBA. That's what he's going to go to. And this is just not the conversation.
To that. So their community of all of Canada has produced how many fucking players?
Right? MVP.
About what, 10, 12 of them? the whole community, we have that community too. It's called Park League basketball.
25 Canadians featured on NBA rosters.
Good ones. So we have.
So there's actually 25. That's really good. 25 Canadians on currently in the NBA. Look how many Europeans. Look how many Australians. That number is growing. The American number is falling. And this is the part that Gilbert won't contend with. I think he really is an intelligent person. I don't think he thinks other people are intelligent, though. That's my issue with Gilbert Arenas. I think he thinks he's the smartest person in the room all the time. I think that's very dangerous. These are very important conversations that need to be had, but because of the loud voices, we never get to really have the in-depth conversation.
Park League, where you can go play for free, right?
Yeah.
The problem with us is we're so talented that you got to charge. So you're weeding out all the talent and putting them on these teams. We do have sorry players that's part of the community. We can build our team and they can learn all this little structure, but are they good? Because we can say whatever the fuck we want to say.
You good?
The last time I checked, these countries are producing 1 to 2 players that's making it to this NBA. No matter what you say, where Luka's from, how many of them are here?
Slovenia.
Luka.
There's a couple that have played in the NBA, though, right? Luka wasn't the only one with NBA experience on his team, I believe.
Where Giannis is from.
Same thing. Couple from Greece.
How many of them are here?
Greco-Nigeria.
So I don't give a fuck what your system is over there if it's producing one who plays like an American.
But all right. I'm gonna let it play because it's the same point. Like he's sidestepping the actual question and what Steve Nash was actually saying.
Over there, everybody jumping through the lane, huh? He doing the same shit we doing over here. He's just 6'11". So I'm trying to figure out what we talking about.
The problem is also there are a lot of, look at it the other way, devil's advocate to Gil's argument. How many freak athletes do we have in America that don't make it? The reason Luka made it from Slovenia is because he has all those skills, has the IQ, but then he also happened to be 6'9" or whatever he is, right? So he was kind of a freak athlete in their country. Giannis, same thing. Like Greece players have the skills and IQ. It's just like he happens to be a freak athlete. The problem with America is we just have millions of freak athletes, but we just don't develop a lot of good basketball IQ. That's the problem. We can have freak athletes and develop the IQ. Like Gilbert's making a point based on the statistics and the way things are, but he's not speaking about how we can improve on them or what parts we are failing at. He's just saying what it is, and that's a boring take from my opinion.
In reality, what are we talking about? We want to change our whole system to do what someone does that's bringing 1 to 2 people over here every 3 decades. All right.
Hey, Suge couldn't wait for you to come back. He ain't cared this much.
Yeah.
He ain't cared this much in a while.
He wrote a good story.
He did none of that in a while.
I get what you're saying, right? And I get what Steve Nash is saying.
And these are the same guys that clown on the NBA for being stupid, right? Players being stupid, not running plays, no IQ, whatever. But then they also don't want to contend with this part of it too. I don't know.
Because nowadays, so I said on this couch before, like basketball now has become it's tennis and golf basically. You have to pay to play right now. Basketball has become expensive for average people that don't know what you're saying, right? We grew up playing on the fucking park for free. We grew up, you got 7 people, we gonna play 3-on-3 and you got next. That's how we got better. We didn't rely on trainers and getting charged $100 an hour for a skill set. We didn't do that. It goes both ways. You can get that and not be successful and get it in and still, so it goes.
Look at that. Think about the skills session that Gilbert put his son through. We watched it the other day and it was a really good session, for a really good individual session. He knows exactly what his kid needs. He put him on his high school team. He chose to put him on a team where he had to be a leader. rather than him traveling and play. I think it was the Boozer twins. They had a loaded up team, and Gilbert wanted him to play on a team by himself. So he had to like learn how to be a leader and learn how to win with like less pieces. All those things right there tells me that Gilbert understands his son needed a different type of development than the typical route that high school players or other players get. He was not getting he was not going through the typical development system. So Gilbert inherently knows that our development system is broken, right? And Kenyon Martin as well. He made it to the NBA because he's a freak athlete and was good at basketball, but then now he has a son who's a freak athlete, and he was able to develop him and put him on the pathway and had connections to get to the NBA. So that's what we're saying. That's what it takes to get to the NBA over here. And Gilbert is sidestepping all of that and won't acknowledge it. And it's really frustrating because I see a lot of people in the comments that have the same argument. I just think it's the most surface level argument. A lot of people thought I was Australian just because I played in Australia. And they're like, well, we keep winning in America and you Australians keep losing and you think that we're not as good. I'm American. That's the thing. I want to keep winning. We barely skated by in those last Olympics, and we used to always dominate. It's getting closer and closer because we're sitting here not doing anything because we're having these boring conversations and we're closing our eyes and acting like everything's fine. La, 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 everything's fine, everything's fine. I'd rather just fix it. I'd rather have the best athletes and have the best IQ because we have the resources to do that. But because we're in this weird capitalism stage where it's just like money, 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 it's like, yeah, eventually look at where the NBA has gone to right now. Entertainment. Like, oh, people like dunks. Let's put in 50 dunks a game. Well, now we're getting to a point where no one cares about dunks. I just saw Noah Black, the other day. Is that his name? Just dunk on 4 people. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. That's the first time I've seen a dunk, I think, in the last 3 years. And I was impressed just because so many dunks happen in a game, every single game, right? And there's 82 games. So when you just inject too much of a thing, it becomes redundant and boring. When's the last time we've seen really good defense, really good basketball IQ? The playoffs to me was that. It was really good.
It goes both.
I want to keep developing and getting better. I don't want to get surpassed.
Both ways, right? So I asked your side, like, before the show, like, somebody teaching my 7-year-old how to play help side defense. And I'm like, why? At 7. Like, and I was in the shower this morning, and I thought about, like, I'm not fucking paying nobody to teach my son how to play help side defense.
I'm not paying nobody to play defense.
Like, no, but just, why are you teaching the 7-year-old, like, he gonna remember that shit when he leaves? I'm saying, like he's gonna remember that when he leaves. So, like, hey, my son wearing number 30. I'm Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
my son told me I'm Steph Curry. All right, so
Yes, buckets do get the loudest
Yes.
applause in the youth league games for those who are not. Block shots, nobody cares still.
I get both points, but yeah.
But I just don't think about pay to play, but I think when you have
It's too much.
But what's happened now, I see it in baseball, I see it in basketball at the youth level. There's teams where if you're good enough, you do not pay to play.
Oh, yeah,
But the
that's
kids
like-
who are not
yeah,
good enough to make those.
But again, those teams have always been around. We've always had elite AA. That's what AAU used to be. It used to only be for those elite players. And that's where I think it should get back to, because now we've convoluted it with there's the elite players. And I've seen this firsthand. Now there's shoe circuits that have teams, and I look at them, I'm like, these teams are not that good. And they train like they have maybe 5 or 6 practices over the summer, and they're on these elite shoe circuits. Like, no, they need to be regional. They need to play just around the states where they're at. They don't need to be doing all that traveling and whatever. They just need to play where they're at and spend that extra time practicing and improving and developing. And this is the point. This is the point I'm bringing up. There's no development system, top-down development system here in America. It's trash.
So it's like
Have to pay to play.
So I'm gonna let y'all go. So my AAU team, right? It was 3 different teams, right? And the guy that I paid for put all the good guys on one team, the stud on the next team, and all the kids that was funding the fucking program played on the last team, and they was getting drugged every tournament. And so, yeah. Right? It's that. They stacked the deck and they put all these guys on one team and other guys are funding and all that. It's a sad case. It is. But that's the nature of the business, right? It's
That's how somebody got to pay for the jerseys, Kenyon.
it's just like every
But if your team is good enough, the sponsors will just pay for them anyway. It's always been that way. But more money.
listen, we act like sports is the only problem in America that motherfuckers.
You're a sports show. I don't want you talking about politics and other stuff. Just talk about basketball. It's a basketball show.
Healthcare is free in other places.
It is.
Motherfucking so sports ain't the only fucking thing that we got to pay for in this bitch. So
If your son want to be Steph Curry, give me that check. I'll teach him how to be Steph. That's what we do. I'll teach you how to be Steph, and that's our problem. Everybody want to be NBA players.
yeah.
Yo, I think he's spitting facts. I just think off the fact that the way AAU has came is way more just playing tournaments. I think that's why a lot of our American players are hurt once they get to the league and to the next level. Just the fundamentals, and everything is about money. You got players now that just plays tournaments all weekend and never even practice, or don't even know how to practice, because everything's about getting to the money. In Europe, you know, I was able to be over there at 18 years old, and I was playing against guys.
I don't mean to stop him because he's cooking right now. Did you hear what he just said? The reason he has a different experience and different understanding of what it could be, when I was playing in Europe, when he was in Europe, he's just seen it done a different way. That doesn't mean America's trash. It just means if you've only been here. Perfect example. I love our Second Amendment rights to be able to have GUNs. I don't even know if I can say that without getting it demonetized, right? I love that we can have those, the bang bang things, okay? But when I went to Australia and they don't really have those there, it was a weird feeling of like, I felt incredibly safe, and I never knew how uptight and how cautious I constantly was, because I was just always around it. I just grew up with it. It was just normal to me. But the fact that they don't really have them over there, and there's like very rarely any shootings, I felt very, very safe, and I would go do way more things than I would do here. And then as soon as I came back to America, I could feel it. I was like, oh my gosh, like anybody at any moment, it's just a weird feeling. You don't know, like, so I see so many people fighting again, and this is just a different thing, right? But it's a good example. You don't know what you don't know. So until you've been somewhere else and seen it, it's really hard to imagine what it would be like without it, right? So this is the same thing. Like Gilbert, I'm sure has not, I don't think he's played overseas. I don't think he's been overseas and traveled and see how they develop. Kenyon Martin, you know, a lot of those guys, I don't think they've seen it. Kendrick Perkins for damn sure. But like, once you've seen it, you go, oh, there's a different way to do things. Okay, yeah, I rock with this. Or you can say, yeah, I disagree. I think America's system is way better. Sorry, Brandon Jennings, you were cooking, and I just had to say that.
As I was 14, 15 years old, that was already playing professionally. And it was going through everyday practicing and getting to the next level. And I think the American system right now, as far as AAU, it needs to change, because as we're looking at it right now, the 5 best players in the NBA, and that will be the best players in the NBA for a long time, are all international players. Yep. So if you don't think that that's a sign of changing and that you guys need to change the development, you got to be fucking kidding yourself.
Yep.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Bars. And then Gilbert is going to come in and say some point and try to be the smartest one in the room again. This is why I don't like Gilbert Arenas, because, no, hold on. That's wrong. I really like Gilbert Arenas. The reason I think sometimes he's very negative and toxic for these types of discussions, though, is it almost feels like he has to be right rather than he wants to be right and win the argument rather than actually push this conversation forward and possibly be wrong, or just say, like, I don't know.
You said those people you play with, right? They was 14, 15 playing pro, and they said they want to get to the next level?
No, I'm saying they were already playing professionally.
Did they?
Yeah, they played for their professional team.
No, did they get drafted here?
No, they play professionally.
Because they don't have high school basketball.
So again, look how many because they're developing more players. We don't even have like a second tier under the NBA because we don't develop players. We have a bunch of weird leagues, but there's no professional league under the NBA over here. That's why all of our second tier players that don't make the NBA, me included, we go overseas to get paid. But there's no demand for a second tier league. I know there's G League. It's a little bit weird. That's not really a development league like it was supposed to be. But the reason we don't really have that demand at that level is we're not developing players to put in that level. We're not developing them. We just take the cream of the crop.
That's all professional. They played for
the big league.
No,
They played for their professional team.
You said when you got there 18.
I saw 14 and 15-year-olds playing professional
Where are they
basketball.
now?
Still over there playing.
Oh,
On their national teams.
Brandon, don't take the bait.
I'm not taking the bait. They're still professional basketball players.
When we go,
they don't have high
when we
school
go
and college.
over there to play,
They don't have high school and college basketball.
Okay, who wants to fuck high school and college? High school and college just ain't shit. That ain't nothing. If I could play professionally at 14, 15, the hell high school and college mean? Nothing. I'm a professional. Ricky Rubio was a professional at 15 years old.
Ricky Rubio.
Playing basketball.
You know what's crazy?
He was 14 years old in the Olympics in 2008. That's a fact.
I love. Hey, dog, you good. You touched something very well. They are professionals at 14 and 15 years old, right? So when the USA 15, 16, and 17-year-old go.
He's making a point right here that he might be wrong on. I don't think Team USA always wins in FIBA. And those Team USA teams that are under 18s and whatever, they're not always full of future NBA players.
And play for the gold.
They're not playing against those players.
They are.
No, they're playing against.
Because I know who.
They're playing against the
FIBAs.
Yeah, they're playing. Yes, you've been over there.
I know who's winning. I know who's winning.
This is what I mean. Gilbert doesn't know. He just hasn't been. And it's really frustrating that he has these guys that have this experience. He should use that to boost his knowledge and be like, hey, Brandon Jennings said this and this. I've got this knowledge now. But instead, he only can speak on what's in here. And sometimes that's going to give you some gold that you will never get anywhere else in the world. He got some stuff in here, I'm telling you. But then it's also, it just keeps more from, it puts up an impenetrable force field where he just doesn't allow other stats or outside facts to penetrate his membrane.
Gold in 15, 16, and 17 ain't lost yet.
Because they play 18 and under against 18 and under.
When I'm ready. I'm ready when
So let's shift over to Josh Radames, who has pulled out the books. Which chapter are we on right now? Do not have the almanac today.
No, I left it in the car.
Okay.
No predictions.
Take it
today.
back to the future.
Chapter 18.
Okay.
Book of Fundamentals.
The book of fundamentals.
Fundamentals. I think what Steve Nash is talking about is the fundamentals of the game. We talk about what the game entails when you talk about building a player from skill sets. And when you have to play to get a trainer, well, you have to pay to play, pay to get a trainer, pay to do all the things in which we have looked at the game today as being a big discrepancy of our talent. Because we got guys who never reached the highest level training kids who want to reach the highest level. And they're getting paid handsomely to pretend like I'm going to make you into Steph Curry. I'm going to let you shoot from back here and say, yeah, that's it. Air ball after air ball after air ball. How many Steph Currys do we have in the NBA? One. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got one. One Steph Curry. And we got a 2.0 in Trae Young. Right? Okay. So here's a nice little tweet that I read from somebody who played in the league. He said, so no one's going to admit the NBA is in a weird place. The league is pickup ball now. What happened to trying to exploit teams' weaknesses and making chess moves? What happened to game plans and watching games this season? Like it feels like it's just in a very weird place.
So again, this is where we start conflating arguments. This is a different conversation. This is just the NBA is not. The NBA is its own thing. It's 82 games. Most teams aren't in it to win a championship. 82 games is way too many in a season to get good basketball every night. You look at EuroLeague where they play in 22 games or something in a season. You can game plan every night. You can change what you're doing, have different strategies for each team because you might play 1 game a week, 2 games a week at the max. But when you're watching NBA, you might play 3 games in a week, and then the next week same thing, 3 or 4 games and back to backs, and you don't have time to do that. This is a different conversation. Pieces of it kind of come over into the development, but for the most part, the league is just it is in a weird place. But I don't know why he pulled this tweet for this argument.
So he played in the 2000s with us. Okay.
This is Jay Crowder.
Oh.
Who?
So, yeah, Jay Crowder.
Oh.
Shout out Jay Crowder.
So Jay is upset and he feels a certain type of way about the game because we have went away from the fundamentals and the essence of what the game entails. What Steve Nash...
Go watch the game in the 2000. Again, I broke down that T-Mac versus Gilbert Arenas game, and it was trash. It was just clogging the paint. Gill was taking bad shots. His teammates was taking bad shots. T-Mac was taking bad. It's just bad. The NBA is just not great anyways, okay? Rose-colored goggles is what these guys are doing. We'll end it there because I think we've addressed all I want to address. There is another moment here towards the end. No, I think I got my point across. Like, basically, I wanted to have this conversation about, I'm going to do a video on this at some point, but the development system in America is really bad. And I really wish we had a federation, like how FIBA, if you go to Australia, when I was in Australia, we had Basketball Australia. So Basketball Australia would have the national teams and all of their best players. They would have a development system. So all the best players from all over Australia would all travel to one place to train together. All the best. So if you took 40 kids, 50 kids from all over Australia, you bring them to one place and say, Basketball Australia wants us to teach you this. They had a curriculum of what they wanted to learn. So then those kids go back to their clubs, and hopefully the coaching directors, which is what I was a coaching director, I would take what Basketball Australia was putting into their national team. I would put that in for our club. So all the 300 kids I was in charge of would be learning what the national team is learning. Not because all 300 of those kids would play on the national team, but all of them are learning a similar style, similar skills, similar expectations, all playing with a shot clock, all no zone under 14 years old, like just pushing the ball, kicking it ahead, shooting, spacing the floor, where we're cutting from, dunker spots and rotations, defensively picking up full court. All those things were in place for, if I had 2 kids at my club that were going to play professionally, those 2 kids were getting that experience the whole way through. But then there'd be 3 or 4 kids that no one had picked out. They never made like a higher elite development squad that would be late bloomers. And they would be, instead of it being too late for them to jump on a professional team and sneak in and go to tryouts, they already knew everything because they had already been learning how to play. So even if they were late bloomers, now there's more players to choose from. So from the top down, it was just far more organized. That doesn't mean Australia is better than America, right? Because America still has better athletes. But I just imagine if we had a top-down development system like that, like they had in Australia, like they had over in Europe whenever I was there, if we kind of had something like that here in America where top-down, everyone has to learn the same thing. If you go state to state, which I have, and I look at different colleges, I look at different high schools, I speak to coaches all the time, I ask about their philosophies. It's all over the place. Some good, some bad, but everyone just does their own thing. So the chances, like, how are we actually developing athletes, or are those athletes developing in spite of what we're teaching them, in spite of what we're coaching? So that's the question. That's what I want to speak about. I would love to have you guys comment down below your thoughts. This is a discussion I've been wanting to have for a long time, and I'm going to do a deeper dive on this. Going to make a video on it and do a lot more studying and whatever. But yeah, this is one of the topics that I really want to have over the course of this channel. So let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.